that going to continue?
That's true.
Let me tell you, Kenny's my hero. This guy had kidney cancer, and not only did he survive through it, but look at him now. He's done well. But one of the most funniest things me and Kenny were involved with is an 84-metre boat. And we went over to Rotness. He goes, "Hey Marty, you want to come over to Rotness? I've got the Chinese with me." I said, "Yeah, no worries, mate." After I slugged on the ropes and pulled up all the boys on the side, I said, "I know why you invited me. You invited me as a skipper. I mean, as the rope boy." He just looked at me and said, "Coronas out there." Yeah, I got it. So we went to Rotness and we met these Chinese guys, and I forgot to tell you, we lost our raft 3 times on the back on 84-metre boat, 84-foot boat, 84-foot, sorry, his ship, and he's towing his boat behind him. I mean, dude, what's that thing up there on the jib rock thing, the crane that slings the thing in? Anyway, after we got it a couple of times, we headed back to Rotness, and there's no one there. They'd all left. And Ken said, "Do you think people know something that we don't know?" I said, "No." So we went to this boat, back to the pub, had a beer and a steak, and we come back, and I went, "Oh my God, I'm so going to get wet getting back to that boat." The waves were 2 metres high in the bay. And we got back to the 80, back, we call it the ship, and Ken goes, "Do you think we should weigh anchor and go back? There's no way we'll sleep here and get a comfortable sleep." So anyway, we went 9:30 at night. Yeah, no worries, let's go back. Have you ever been in the ocean at night?
With you,
All those ships, yeah, she's somehow been with me at night on my boat. Anyway, Kenny decided, let's go. So he's on the steering wheel. And all the sea container ships, they look like Fremantle. So the closer you get, and you don't know if they're moving. And the closer you get to them, you think they're moving. And Kenny goes, "Marty, put that searchlight on. I want to see if there's rocks over there." And I've got the searchlight going around and there. "Marty, stop fucking around. Stop. Put it up there. Marty, we're going to put $2 million worth of boat on the rocks. Stop fucking around." I've never seen Kenny so serious in his life. The waves are crashing over us, going to the pub. Anyway, we got to the river. I got the steering wheel after that. You see to raise the
Marty,
stuff
I
there.
didn't want to drown the Chinese. They were invested.
The Chinese, but you know, it's amazing the bonding you do with somebody when your ship is so much up and rocking. Hey, Daryl?
Not shit, Marty. You bond them when you're shitting.
And let me tell you, I didn't know how serious it was till the next day when the salt spray had all gone through the instruments and, you know, anyway, that was another story. But the bonding you can do with anyone when you're in rough seas and you think it's good night, Irene, and it's a mateship. And what you learn from mateship is unspeakable. Keith, I'm pretty sure we can come up with some stories about mateship. 19 Coronas in the Thai restaurant, Indian restaurant. Yeah, we've never been back there since, have we? You know? Anyway, that's enough for Kenny.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, no worries, mate. You feeling good about yourself? Just ring me.
That sounds like another story to lock up. Trevor, would you like to come forward and say a couple of words, please?
About 17 years ago, this chap came up to my property in Wildflower Drive, and Brash, as Brash as anything, bowls up the driveway and says to me, "Well, I believe your property's for sale, mate." I said, "Yes, yeah, I'm looking at selling it." So if anyone's been to Marty's place at Wildflower Drive, that used to be my place. And anyway, so he said, "Do you mind if I look around?" I said, "No, not at all, go ahead." Around about 30 minutes later, I thought, where the hell is this guy gone? And he rolls in, he says, yeah, I'm interested, I'll take this place. He said, got a couple of places to sell and I'm interested. So anyway, I said, whatever. Anyway, a couple of weeks later he bought my place and that's when I first got to know Marty. My theme tonight, and what I want to talk about, is the heart within Marty. Because it really is something that has impressed me, and why it's impressed me is because, Marty, you've got a heart that I admire. And why I admire this is my wife, Jeanette, and I, we've raised 5 sons, and one of my sons has served in Afghanistan 3 times and just been awarded a Distinguished Conduct Citation.
Oh, wow.
And during this time, Marty would be on the phone to me all the time and he'd be saying, how's wars going? What's happening over there? The first trip over there, he and his sergeant were lifting up a mine and it went off and blew his sergeant's hands off and his eye out, and you know, Warren took it pretty hard, but he came back from that and he served with my old regiment. I'm a proud former member of the SAS, and why I say that is because Marty used to sort of come up to me all the time and he'd say, Trev, you know all about leadership and all this sort of stuff. And in the very early days, the formative days of the Orbit Drilling Company, Marty used to come up to me and he'd say, what do you reckon I should do with my guys? So we'd have these tete-a-tetes, you know, we'd talk about things. But what I learned about this guy was he's got a genuine heart. And where this came to the fore was just recently. And he'd done so much for me in retrospect. And here's a classic example. Marty asked me not to mention this, but it's well worth it. You know Marty's got a Jeep? For those of you that don't, Marty's got a Jeep. So he rings me up on Anzac Day and he says, Trev, Anzac Day, we've got to go out and take the salute. So he's got a couple of slouch hats and he's got a big whacking great Aussie flag out the back, and he's driving. So we drove down West Coast Highway, and every time we'd go through a set of traffic lights, he'd say, Trev, stand up! So I'd stand up and I'd be going like this, taking the salute. So not only has he got a good heart, but he's adapted this country and he's proud of it, and he's proud of the traditions that we share with the Kiwis. So Marty, you know, I want to give something back to you now, is that it's been a great pleasure in these last 17 years that I've known you, that you are a man that I truly respect. And what's more important is those few genuine words that you said to me the other day when we went up to the turret. You said to me, I finally found the girl I'm in love with. And, you know, Vanessa, he'll look after you. So, mate, come up here, give me a hug. A great adopted Australian. Vanessa, you're a sweetie. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Trevor, for those deep, meaningful words. It's not often in this day and age that we hear people speak like that. I'd now like to call on Joe Phillips to have a couple of words, please.
Hi, Joe.
Good on you.
I think I'll give the audience a break.
I had a speech prepared, but I'm actually going to focus on Vanessa. Because everyone's been singing Martin's praise and it's been making me sick. Sick to my stomach. Okay, Vanessa. I first met you 12 months ago. And the words that I said to you in the car park is that if you want to be Martins, you have to forget the past and just create the future. And you've certainly done that. It's been amazing. Transformation, you know, in the last 12 months, what a big 12 months. It's been amazing. Been amazing. And I'll recount one story, and I'll tell you one Kiwi joke, and I'll tell you one Australian Kiwi joke. The first part is that we took the children, and Marty and I, out to dinner at the Lucky Shade just across the way there. And it'll just give you an insight into Vanessa's soul. And we're walking back to our respective apartments, and we're crossing the park. And the sprinklers come on, and Martin and I go, shit, we're getting wet. And Vanessa said, this is fantastic, and she ran through like a fairy. She ran through all of the sprinklers, and she was dancing and she was happy. What a great way to start a life. I think we all should embrace it.
Yeah.
So, the rest of it I'll leave behind because it's all been said this evening. The Kiwi joke, I've got a Kiwi friend from Invercargill that she works with. I said I was going to a wedding with a lot of New Zealanders, and I asked her for a Kiwi joke, and she texted me back and she said, why do Australian men prematurely ejaculate?
So they run down the pub.
Yeah, so they can run down the pub and tell their mates they got laid. The other joke I've got to say is one Marty told me, and it's about the 3 Kiwi lies.
Oh, yeah.
So we all know the 3 Kiwi lies. The first one is, my mum was a Maori princess. The second Kiwi lie was, my dad played for the All Blacks. And the third Kiwi lie was, I was really only helping that sheep over the fence. Thank you. Love you both.